Morning. Hope you're doing well today. This is Qualified in Noise and Mess. My name's Andrew, and this is the Building with a Brain Tumour series. Mortar, something you just don't think about. It is so basic to the building process that many people don't give it a second thought. It's not that they don't give it a second thought, I don't think they even give it a first thought. So I wanted to show you how to do it precisely and repeatably so that it is consistent. All right, and you would not believe how easy it is. So just bear with me a moment. Right, so if you're making more than a bucket full of mortar, you'll need a mixer. I'm not going to set in the mixer on the stand is really simple. You don't need to be an Olympic weightlifter to do this. I'll show you. Centre pivot. Right, tip the mixer on its nose, like so. So it's resting on the barrel, and you'll see that. Okay. Now underneath there's a clip. The clip clips round the loop, right? Now that won't move, right? Then centre pivot of the stand goes in. Sometimes not the easiest, but it will go in. Like that, okay. So that's all the way in. And with that clip engaged, the pivot and the stand are locked, and it's just a case of lift it up. And same way for bringing it down. It won't collapse. Mixing mortar. It's all done by volume. Okay. So whatever you're using, you need to be consistent in your measurements. And we're using buckets. Excuse me. And what you'll need are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 identical buckets. So the recipe for the mortar we're making is 4 sand, 1 cement with plasticizer. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And this was full when we started, so it isn't now. So 1 bucket is kept dry and is reserved for cement only. And then we have 4 buckets for sand, and this isn't particularly wet. It's a bit damp because we've had a bit of rain. And I simply loose fill the buckets. Excuse me. And tip half of it out. Right. Loose fill it to the top. Doesn't, whatever the volume of mortar you're making, just be consistent about it. So that's loose fill to the top. One. Right, so cement. Ordinary Portland cement. Comes in 25 kilo bags. Well, it does in Europe anyway. And 1 bag is just slightly more than we need. And then becomes less than we need. Right, another bag of cement. And I also have my knife. Cement these days mostly comes in these waterproof plastic sacks. Please recycle. All I do is cut a hole in the end and then struggle to get my knife blade back in, because it's so dry it'll pour like a liquid. It isn't, but it will pour like a liquid. And these sacks are really very strong. So same as the sand, a nearly level bucket. Don't inhale the powder, the dust, because cement is a powerful alkali and it won't do you any good. I'm sure I should be wearing a mask, but I'm not. I've got other things. Oh, that's what happens. Right, mess. I told you we were doing mess today. We most definitely are. Right, so we have very nearly. Yeah, that's behaving. It's just like a liquid. Right, one bucket of cement. All right. So we have 4 sand, 1 cement. What's missing? Tell you. Ugh. Water. Well, we can do that. We can remedy that. That black tub is a water deposit. It's a barrel. We will need somewhat over, well, depends, we'll need 1 bucket of water. So that's your 6 buckets. However, did I mention mortar plasticizer? Now, I am not sponsored by Seeker, although I'm very happy if I was. And it's one of these dosage bottles, and at the top you got this little cup with, like medicine, beakers. It's got the amount in millilitres on it, and depending on your mix will control or require a certain amount of plasticizer. For us, for this mix, it's 15 millilitres. It's one of these where you squeeze it and the stuff comes up the tube and into the cup, and when you pour it out you can't overdose. I'll try and keep it level, just a tiny bit over, because you never get it all out. So 15 millilitres and a teeny little bit. Right, so that'll go in a moment. So what's missing? Tell you what's missing. Electric. Yeah. Okay. So let me move you closer so you can see what's going on. Two-thirds of this water. Even though it's could save us having to sit with a hose for ages. Right. Now, you shouldn't put your hands into rotating machinery. I didn't, and you didn't see me. Right, so that's 2/3 of a bucket of water in, the plasticizer, and can you see that? That's kind of frothing up a little bit. Right, put this safely out of the way. Right, now this is where this gets hard on me. So I've injured my shoulder. So into that, 3 of the 4 buckets of sand. Oh, and I hate doing this. Straight in, no messing. And after the next one, stand to the side. Now I don't know whether you can see that. Just have a look at that. See that? Oh no, it's gone. See how sort of liquidy that is? That'll turn to slop and then to lumps. That's okay. Right, next one. Okay, using the wrong hands. Knock any stuck bits off. So that's 2/3 of a bucket of water, 2 buckets of sand. So here's sand number 3. As I said before, we do this by volume. Oh, marvellous. I managed to knock some out. Tiny amount like that won't matter. So we'll leave that to churn for a bit. That's not very nice, is it? Right, you just watch that on time lapse for a bit and see how that develops, because it's sort of lumpy, heavy, nasty stuff. Temptation at this point is to put more water in, but don't. See how that's getting smoother? So we've got water, 3 sand, 15mm of plasticizer. Right. So the next thing is cement to go into our mortar. Some people would use washing up liquid, dish soap, as a poor man's plasticizer. Don't. It may work, but it isn't the best thing. If you care about quality, it's not what you want to be using. Right, let's get some cement in. I'll just move back a little bit. See if I can adjust the contrast. That's better. Right, cement. And say cement is, we'll do this by volume, not weight, because cement is less dense than sand. Let just churn a little bit. You want to look up how cement is made. A lot of energy goes into it. It's basically burnt limestone and stuff. Now you may be tempted to go, oh, I'll just hose that out, but then you've got a wet bucket. You're guaranteed to get stuff sticking to it, so don't. Right. Again, we'll leave that to churn for a bit. You have a watch of that, and I'll come back. It's lumpy. Cure for that. It can get splattery at this point. So whenever I put a bit more water in, I tend to stand to the side. Don't know whether you can see it, but you've got mix, dry mix stuck to the back. So although we're using a bucket of water, a hose is also useful. By the time we're ready to take it out, that'll be a lovely creamy mix. At each stage of this, you want it to be roughly the consistency you want it to be. Oh, right. See you later. Have a good one. My son going to work. Well, my other son. Right, we'll leave that for a bit. We're not quite there yet because what have we forgotten? Sand number 4. Let's do that now. Oh, hell's teeth. This is heavy. Oh. Ew. I'm just covering myself in the stuff. Oh, here comes my bricklayer. Right on late. Ew. Covered in the stuff. Right, we'll leave that to churn for a bit. And we'll put some more water in because that is as dry as it gets. And stand to the side, it gets splattery. It gets lumpy. Ugh, murder law. Morning! I'm filming. So that's quite nice. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. So what we have is a small tub. And we'll fill that 2/3, 3/4. I have to use a small spade like this because of the damage to my shoulder. I could not lift a full-size spade of mortar out. So have a look at it. Oops, splattery. Yeah. There we are. And you don't have to smack 7 shades out of the spade. Number of people doing that, you're just damaging your equipment. That's just dreadful. Right. Clean your spade off after you've shoveled out. And we're ready to go. Let's go upstairs. Right.